When it comes to fixing my tails and my dings, I go to Jimbo's Dingos. Jimbo's Dingos. You can find us in our... Okay, that's enough self-promotion.
Does either one of you have anything even remotely interesting to tell me?
Caught my first tube this morning, sir.
The Shizzel on the Wizzel.
The Wizzel Shizzle.
The Shizzel on the Wizzel.
The Shizzle on the Wizzel.
With Jaymin Per.
All right, okay. Let's do it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Shizzel on the Wizzel. We are back in the speaker tent at the Gold Coast of Jæren. With me, as always, on my right side, my brother Jaymin.
Yeah, mate. I'm back. Hello, everyone.
Good to be back again. And special feature, Miss Sideboobs herself.
Thank you very much. I love that introduction.
Winner chicken dinner. You kind of bailed on us last time, last season.
I did, yeah.
And I think there's
Sorry
still some
that.
Gifts for you to collect in the in the gift box.
You actually saved it for me?
Of course, nobody else wants it. So
we polished it for you while it was gone.
Yeah,
that is very nice.
Yeah, we
Looking
made it
forward
vintage.
to it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Sick.
it's important. It's from the first season, you know. So in about 15 years, when you go to the pawnbrokers in Las Vegas, you can say this is the first season win.
Yeah.
Very cool.
This is before they went bankrupt.
Yeah. But back to the matter at hand. We had a crazy week in Portugal to watch. Really interesting. Lots of upsets. I'm just going to throw that one out here and see if anybody has to say it.
Lots of upsets. It was fucking crazy. It was the conditions it was huge. I don't think it was actually watching on like normal TV. I don't think we got the full presence of those waves. It was so huge and so fucking. It was breaking bones out there. That sand is like insane. They could like run Lisbon for a week on one of those waves. That was so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's well. We had the pleasure of being down there in the first year of Peniche.
Yeah.
We got invited by Rip Curl and we got to see it. And it was crazy. Yeah, it's different from the beach. Definitely.
Oh, I can imagine. It must be so cool to actually watch it live.
Yeah, you saw Cullum get the first 10 of the season, and if you saw that clip, it was pretty gnarly. But when you saw the actual picture, where it was like freeze framed, it was like next level. It was the level above the next level.
Not a level, but a level.
He stopped leveling.
Yeah. He's just leveled out. He's killed it. So that was really cool. I was kind of really stoked to see that. It's good to see, these professional surfers get tested, because I kind of feel like I love watching them surf, shitty beach break conditions, just in relation to the fact that that's usually what I'm surfing. But then at the same time, I want to see them earn their checks.
Good
because
point.
These guys, they're the best in the world. And I mean, like, I don't know. I just kind of, it's such good entertainment to see them go out there, and they're like gladiators, seriously hitting it. And the overlapping heats, the setup with the, 4 guys in the water, I think it was good. It was awesome. There was such a big playing field out there. And for a while, I remember just sitting there just watching insane wave after insane wave, and it just didn't stop. It was almost like they couldn't get the replays back quick enough, and there was another one, and it was like, it was very entertaining and pretty cool, I think, to see, who actually is having a dig out there and who isn't.
Yeah, right. But speaking of the beach and like the viewers, I heard there was like 51,000 people on the beach watching.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Pretty insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And as they say in the commentary, they are all blood fans. They know every surfer there. They know what's at stake. They know.
So cool.
everything about how the WSL is run and who's important to win and
how good was the
really
president
informed.
was just like hugging the winners. I mean, how often does that happen in your the president turns up at the beach and just he's high-fiving Jayren.
I mean,
Right.
I mean, we've got the Crown Prince rocking up, the Crown
Well,
Princess.
I know,
Of course.
besides Norway,
I mean,
of course.
Yes, but still, it says a lot about Portugal being such a big surf nation.
Shout outs to the royal family, the Crown Prince.
No, but they understood they have a massive income coming through surf tourism, and they went all in. They made it proper. They didn't make it a half-ass effort, and maybe we can make out some cash. They understood they have to invest to get something out of it, to be taken serious.
Yeah, but
big,
surfing's
big
actually
creds to them though.
Yeah, it's
for
awesome
doing
how they burn for it, and it's like it's actually we have this kind of like idea that Australia or maybe California, you kind of see that surfy lifestyle, and it's like it's just super cool to see that European twist on it because it's not. I mean, it gets warm in summer, of course. Down in Portugal, it gets too hot, but they're having it kind of like on the end of winter. Even for them, the water's cold. Like there's 51,000 people out there, and I mean, they had jackets and fucking rain gear on for 2 or 3 of the days, and there was still that many people. I just think, that's really cool. But it's good to see. It's good to see like the whole nation get involved. And 51. I don't think there's ever been a European contest where there has been 51. Maybe there was a couple of the French ones where there was like, you remember in Biarritz there was like shitloads, or Hossegor they had the Quicksilver Pro there. There was a lot of people, but I don't think anything adds to those numbers. So it was cool to see the
Frenchmen
the pork and cheese, giving a bit of pork and cheese on the beach.
Tosta mista.
Yeah. Hey, I was thinking, let's have a look at these heats. I mean, like elimination round, opening it up.
Yes.
I was thinking maybe we could dissect some of these upsets, to see, like the some of the big dogs go down in the first round, and to have the likes of like Kanoa, Kelly, Federico Moraes in a heat, Gabriel, Medina, Cullum, Maxine, and then of course Jayren, who ended up winning the event. He was in the elimination round again. So we talked about that last episode, Per, about how the elimination round sometimes it gives them one extra, like someone for Zhao, he likes the opportunity to go out and create opportunity. So an extra heat for him, he's kind of just thinking, okay, shit, I didn't get through, but he made the most of it. But that just kind of almost built more momentum for him because he had more opportunity to be out there in those fucking psycho waves.
Hell yeah. And I think actually a lot of guys come stronger out of the elimination round than they would necessarily if they would jump directly into the next round.
I remember it happened to Leonardo Fioravanti in the pipe contest. He was in the final against Jack Robinson, and I remember even in that in that contest that he did the same. He started in the elimination round, worked his way up. So it doesn't always go against the surfers, who like to build momentum throughout the contest.
No,
and
definitely not.
And just saying that, like, you notice how the first couple of heats, like Jack Robbo, he got second in his first round, right? And then it was like every single heat he got through, he had very marginal type scores. Like he had like 11s and 12s. You're expecting him to kind of like, we expect the big scores, just like we do out of John and what I mean, the big hitters.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Medina and stuff. But I really feel like him and Molly, like you can just see that, it's all about building momentum. And all Jack wants to do is scrape through every single heat until he gets to the finals. Because if he's going nuts and going upside down and doing backflips and airs and 540s, all the rest of it. We all know he's capable to do it. But if he kind of shows his cards too early, it's almost like the judges, their expectations then go up of what they're expecting of him.
Well, yeah,
so
of course.
By keeping his surfing to a minimum and just barely getting through. And I think to myself, like, the sign of a good surfer is someone who doesn't show his cards until he needs to do it, and then come out in the final and then just blow everyone away with mad airs. I just think to myself, Kelly's another one that kind of does it. He scrapes through, and he shines in the finals. So,
but it is a dangerous game.
Yeah,
it is a dangerous game. If you,
of course,
because especially in this event, how many tiebreakers did we have in the last 3 minutes where people lost their heats and got kicked out? There was a lot of last second decisions.
Of course, but there's always going to be that opportunity to, for someone to just get a mad score, like you said, and it did happen this event quite a few times. There was some buzzer beaters. And
Griffin Calapinto, when he came out of the semifinal, he said in an interview that there's no holding back. You have to throw everything in.
Yeah, for sure. Once you get to the finals, it's a different game.
Of course. I think it's also just shows like how strong of a mentality these surfers have going into a challenge like that, and being able to stay calm and still getting good results in the last 3 minutes of the heats.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, just saying that, there was definitely, between those conditions, I was just thinking to myself, okay, for the guys, to deal with that, they charge big waves, and I mean, they all charge the big waves, but I just kind of felt like for the women out there, that's who I kind of feel like I can represent myself at any kind of salmonang.
No, not anymore.
Not even, mate. Not even. I kind of think to myself. I kind of just think to myself.
Don't be disrespectful, Jaymin.
I don't mean to be disrespectful at all. I'm just saying the guys are just in a completely out of this world level, and the girls basically are there as well. You know what I mean? There isn't no real difference. To see the girls out there charging as well, some of them just as much as the boys. I remember Courtney got a wave, and I was just like, do you remember that in the quarters, I think? And she got flogged so bad, and even the guys are just standing there going, I can't believe she's even going to come up after that. It's so cool to see that everyone, like I said, the ones that wanted to shine in those conditions really did, which was cool.
Yeah. And I think especially with the younger girls, both the rookie and those who are on the tour for the second year this year, I mean, I think we're really seeing a change in generations here.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, Caitlin was insane, wasn't she? Her buzzer beaters with Sally. But anyway, sorry for sidetracking a little. I know we're on sidetracking. I know we're dealing with the men's at the moment, but yeah, I can't go away from the event just thinking Jayren just stamping his dominance, and really I'm just gonna pull up the some of the guys that we're expecting to be on the top.
Yeah, should we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, Jean Giroux knocked out Felipe Toledo, right? That was kind of pretty. That was a huge upset, and John going down to, I think it was Rio Wider. Yeah, I mean, seriously, when watching that first round, and I knew they said there was bigger waves coming, it was going to get even heavier. I was just thinking, John's all of a sudden I could see an advantage big wave surfers, bang, and not just big wave surfers but chargers. Yeah. So on the list, I kind of think John, Jack Robbo. I'm kind of thinking of guys that would just go no matter what.
Kelly Slater.
Kelly, of course, is charger, but
Gabriel Medina.
Yeah, and Zhao. He's nuts. He's so mad, and I was just thinking, I had a little giggle because me and Tim Mr. Matley, we're quite competitive with our fantasy, and our teams are quite often
Really?
very similar. And I kind of like, he backed John, and it was so funny because I think back and I was so close to pulling the trigger myself to have him as my double surfer, like my power surfer, but I kind of held out and just kind of thought, no, Jack, he's the money because he's in form at the moment, Jack, you know, and he's on a bit of a roll. And like I said,
Definitely.
I kind of like love the way he just builds momentum through it's kind of like it's so very textbook. Like if it's in the textbook of like competitive surfing, that's like he's just insane, and it's just so cool to see how much he has like improved.
Yeah. He's strong. He's doing well. He's on a good roll.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm just stoked for him. I kind of feel like it's good on him.
Definitely.
So looking at I just quickly pulled up the rankings, and
Yep.
yeah. So underneath the cut line, as we see today, we got names like Zeke Lau. Well, the last couple of contests he's had, we expecting
he disappointed me.
Yeah. But, you know, strangely,
Gotta say.
Koloe's down there. Like, he's way down there in 31. And he's actually below Carlos. So
Very surprising.
yeah, that's really crazy to see. Michael Rodriguez, he hasn't really had any outstanding moments the last three contests. Jackson Baker, he's had a couple of like, you know, flashes of brilliance, but hasn't really sealed the deal. Jake Marshall, he's been a bit quiet. Barron, same. And then we got Kelly and Kanoa Igarashi also under the cut line. So
Very surprising, though.
yeah, so it's interesting to see. It's going to be really interesting to see how, you know, how we go leading up to Bells. And, you know, there is a few guys that actually did themselves some justice on one being Connor O'Leary. He jumped 9 points. He needed a result last event, and he came through, which is really cool to see. Yeah, Koloe dropped 7 points. Seven places. Sammy Pupo, he jumped up 6. Ian Gentile, he jumped up 3. He was a little bit like your kind of out.
Yeah, he was my off bet, which made
He was your side bet.
gave me some good points.
He did all
Very
right, didn't he?
nice.
Like, he was so impressive. Yeah, he was like, he surfed. He beat Italo, or did Italo take him? I'm just trying to think. I remember their heat. It was
I
pretty.
think he beat.
He did really well. Yago and Cullum also up nine places on the rankings. So just pulling out the top 5 at the moment. We got Jack Robbo, we got Giles Chianca, Philip Toledo, Kaio Ibelli in 4th. I can't believe it. Where did Kaio
When did
come
that
from?
happen? Yeah.
I got Kaio in 4th and Griff Dog in 5th, Colapinas. So yeah, they're probably, well, I was expecting to see Jack and Felipe, and, you know, we all know Zhao's capable, or we can see that he's going to be capable this year of getting himself to the top 5. But Griff, yeah, I think Griff's going to be, he's going to be wanting that top 5 this year, especially because Kanoa's way down under the cut line. That must be fueling him. They really have
I think Kanoa is not going to make it. He hasn't showed any sign of previous good.
Well, he's just had a really shit year, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's just kind of, it's almost like he just hasn't had any, I don't know. I'm
Like
just,
he's lacking motivation almost.
yeah, like he's lacking motivation. And the crazy thing is, like, even in his after heat interviews, he's kind of just talking about what he's planning to do and how he's planning to come back. It almost just feels like a little bit like just kind of like a
Like a rehearsed
speech where he presses play and goes, "Yeah, I've done this so many times."
But,
well, it's kind of what you have to say, right? Because it's what all reporters like expect you to say as well.
And of course, us who are so into surfing and we kind of like overanalyze everything. You know, the poor guy's just on probably a little bit of a downer. Who knows what's happening in his private life? Or
exactly.
You know, he just found out he was coming out of the closet. Apparently, I'm just kidding. But maybe Banjo, Ladyboy. Bit of male scissoring.
Well, maybe. Who knows?
But anyway, Kanoa, you know, he's a good. He's part of that that original Quicksilver youth team of him and Leonardo, and you know those guys. They've been in the game for that long, so Kanoa will bounce back. I just don't think.
We know that his skills are there
for sure, but I don't see. I just don't really see kind of like Kaloe going around doing the Challenger Series next year with a wife and kid and stuff.
No.
But he's too young to retire as well. You know what I mean? So maybe he will, but I just kind of
the question is.
I'm always looking at the guys' faces, and it's just like he seems to be content. He doesn't seem to really care about that competitive side of surfing anymore, Kaloe. But maybe he's just
maybe he's
it's
not.
an off year, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody has that. I mean, he's been pushed. You know, the stereotype of the Asian parents that are pushing their kids to past excellency.
Yeah.
So he probably been pushed, and the result didn't come last year or not the year before, and at some point it crackles, and you know you have that year what he has now, and then probably needs to take a year off. If he doesn't make the cut, then he's getting his time, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in his subconscious. I need a break.
Yeah,
I'm not going to make the cut.
Yeah,
I'm not going to make the cut, and then I've got half a year off.
Maybe
you have to go to the
kind of
qualifying
sounds
series.
chill, right?
Well, yeah, I just kind of think looking back, like Owen Wright fell off tour, right? Same setup. He had a young family, and you know, it is just something that he's always done and always expected to. You know, he definitely had a little bit of mileage left, I reckon, Owen. He had some good contests, but he kind of he lost in that first part of the year where the events weren't really reflecting. I mean, he's a big wave charger. He wants chopes and pipe, whatever. But anyway, I kind of just see a little bit like the same thing happening with Kaloe. You know, it's like once you have a family, you know, like there's different priorities kind of take over a little bit. So who knows? We could see him fall off the tour. He might have a year off and come back and just whip everyone's ass like he's.
He understands how expensive it is to have a kid, so he's like, "Oh shit, man, I gotta go back."
Yeah,
I need to qualify.
Nappies, bitch.
I'm gonna pull a Kelly. I've got another 20 years to go here.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Speaking of, this is gonna be an interesting one because if Kelly doesn't make the cut, is that the end of his career?
Wow.
Does he end 30 years as a pro surfer with not making the cut?
Wow.
Didn't qualify. Yeah, you know what?
I would be really sad if that's the way his story ends.
I kind of think that story just doesn't fit the script.
Doesn't. No.
So far, we want him. He's supposed to win bells.
Yeah,
you know,
and say that's it.
As far as you know, Netflix are involved. He's going to win. He's going to win bells, and then he'll qualify, and then he'll go on to make the top five. We all know that's not happening. We love you, Kelly, but mate, you're fitty. You're 1 and 50. You're 51.
You're 51. Now, and as he says himself, the spark is gone now, pretty much, you know. And honestly,
can't blame him.
If he would do it, like if that's the way it happens, it's forgotten within a month because it's Kelly. Just the way that
I think
he
you're
ends.
Right. We'll remember for his greatest moments, like regardless.
His greatest moment was winning pipe when he was 50.
Yeah.
That was his greatest moment. So I think, and for me, it kind of stops there if I look into my kind of memory-wise, looking at him, you know, I'm not counting whatever he does this year or whatever, you know. It kind of stops there, you know.
With the fact that he won pipe when he was 50.
Yeah.
We love
I think
Kelly.
you're not alone in that thought.
We all
definitely not.
And he's you know, like we all kind of think that he's you know, his roots where he grew up, because he's always seemed to be like Jesus walking on water, you know what I mean? But he had it pretty tough, and it's like I kind of just feel he does come from a bit of that battler, and the fact that the way he manages to, even now in his kind of like twilight years of his competitive career, the way he just kind of interacts with people all the time. I can't even imagine what his life must be like with just you know 90% of just like awkward encounters every time he goes somewhere. It's like, you know, it's like you're a fucking like a Wookiee walking around, because that's the reaction he gets from everyone. Everyone turns around and looks and whispers to their friend everywhere he goes. His whole life. I can't even imagine how fucking irritating that would be after a while. Like you'd think
I'm sure it is.
Well,
but
usually
also,
I check my fly to see if my meat cylinder's hanging out. But anyway, like that would be like the feeling he'd get everywhere he go. People staring at him. It'd kind of be embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Sure, but don't you think also that he would feel really weird not having that? He's had it for so long.
Yeah.
Like
well,
losing that might be like part of losing your identity. I don't know.
I just kind of think he deals with it well.
Oh,
he deals with it really well, and that's why he still understands it's part of his job. But I just kind of feel like
he keeps it very professional.
He really does, and I kind of feel like not everyone would have, like, no offense, Zeke Lau, but you know, if Zeke's had a bit of a shocker, you know, like it's kind of like Kelly will still just stand there for an hour and just like get selfies with all his fans. But anyway, we love the GOAT, and he'll always be the GOAT. But let's just hope that GOAT does some.
Yeah, I mean, I think
does something magical in bells.
If you look at it,
that would be great. I really hope so, and I really wish so for Kelly.
Yeah,
I think when you talk about getting used to stuff, imagine getting used to surfing the peak breaks in the world for 30 years with only one other guy.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that shit can make you addictive, you know? You're like, all right. And they fly me around for free to surf there by myself. With, remember Trestles when he went out by himself?
Yeah.
I mean, he comes back like, I had Trestles for myself for half an hour. So of course I go out and surf it.
Insane. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, of course. It's
something you have to do. You should do it.
He's the GOAT.
Do it.
30 years of that.
Yeah. Hey,
anyway.
Hey, but speaking of Kelly, Zhao kind of made, you know what? He didn't make mincemeat of Kelly at all in that heat. That was one of the closer ones that Zhao had against. That was one of the closer ones that Zhao had. In the whole event. He beat Kelly by 2 points, but I was kind of feeling, getting back to Portugal a little bit. Yeah, there was a couple of really close ones, especially Liam and Callum. It was really hard. Do you guys find that with your fantasy picks that if you can't define between two guys that are very, like, you kind of can't, I can't pick the winner of that heat, because I think to myself, those guys, any day, either one of them could win. You know, it's not like Toledo versus, me. We all know that Toledo's going to win.
Yeah.
But like those close heats, they kind of like, they make you kind of second guess yourself. So you're going, you put them in the too hard basket and you think, I'll back someone else. Because do you ever have that kind of intuition?
I have them sometimes, and then, you end up choosing maybe a third person, because you're like, it's a clearer choice in this heat,
I have that feeling all the time. Then I just go for whatever my gut tells me.
Yeah. A couple of times I've come down to like having two guys that I can't decide between, but they're coming up against each other. And I kind of almost think to myself, maybe I should back them both. At least then one of them's going to win. And, if you've got a gut feeling about both of those guys, they could go a long way. Because you could put two separate guys in two different heats and both of them lose.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then you get nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
So I go 6 out of 8.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is I try to have 6 out of 8.
Yeah.
Then at least I advance in some form.
Nice.
Like
I like that strategy.
Yeah, I kind of think you kind of do that stuff when you see the bracket stage kind of working out who's going against each other. But it just kind of made me think, like, I think the last contest I couldn't decide between Kanoa and Jackson Baker or something. There was I can't remember exactly what heat it was. And then later on, I kind of thought to myself, I would have been better off backing them both. Mm-hmm. But
do you remember what you actually ended up doing?
No, yeah, I think I did exactly what I shouldn't have done. So I should have just
when
gone.
That's the case.
But I was just kind of thinking sometimes, like, yeah, like a bird in the hand can be worth more sometimes than 2 in the bush. Hey,
and one in the front grille of your car.
Yeah, exactly. But dominance by Zhao Xianka. I thought Ethan Ewing, he had a couple of flashy moments, but then Zhao just came and he basically peed on that parade.
You go home, boy.
Yeah.
I don't want him to go home though. I love Ethan.
Yeah. Hey, Ethan's got like awesome style. We all know he's a superhero. Ian Gentile smashed Miguel Pupo. Yeah. I was thinking maybe it was...
And then his brother took the revenge in the next heat.
Against Igarashi. And the thing is, Kanoa had a really good start to that heat, but still, I think he had an 8 in the first minute or something. So it was awesome to see.
It ended up with nothing more.
Sammy just came back, smashed it. Pretty close heat with Jack. This is in the round 16 against Ryan Cullen. And Ryan Cullen actually had a couple of really good heats. He beat good old Geordie, white chocolate. The white chocolate melted. Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Barron had a good start against Leo. I think they had a pretty shitty conditions in their round 16. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. So Barron actually scraped through. And
Some
then
good surfing though, considering the conditions.
Amazing. It was so good to see. Like I said, it was awesome to see them get tested.
Yeah. Love that.
John and Rio, that was a close one. Rio scraped through and knocked him out. That was a huge upset. Italo, he made mincemeat of Michael Rodriguez, who he didn't really shine at all. And Yago, do you remember Yago and Matty McGilvray heat? That was so close. That was it was 10.9 to 10.7.
That was a round of 32, eh?
Yeah, it was the first round, that bracket stage. And then, towards the end of the bottom end of the draw there, Griffin took care of Jackson Baker, which was also close heat, and then he went on to beat Gabrielle, who we all thought was going to be a big standout in this event. So
yeah,
Griff was actually he was flying, man. He just seemed to have all the momentum and doing all the tricks, and he looked unstoppable. I was looking at him and Zhao Xianka thinking, these two guys,
I had those two guys.
They look like they're the money. Yeah. And anyway, lo and behold, Yago had a really good quarterfinal, and he beat Griff. Griff was just wave staffed pretty much the whole heat. So, yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. So anyway, I was just gonna wrap it up and say it was good to see Zhao in the final. It was awesome to see him win. New guy. Oh, I'm always up for I want a different person to win every event because I just want it to be super close. And yeah,
that's his third final now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's made all the finals through all the 3 competitions.
It's him and Jack Rowe are the most consistent.
They're off to different paths.
It was also to see standouts like Yago and Cullum. Both those guys it was good to see them up and at it.
You see Rob?
Yeah, the Sea Rob. And Rio also had another good he had another good event.
Yeah.
You know?
So stoked for the guy.
Yeah, me too. So happy that there's
just
an
think it's
Indonesian
awesome.
surfer on the tour, and he's doing so well.
I honestly think it just makes it for us as enthusiasts of the sport. Like, if you're trying to pick the winners, you basically you can't just look at the top 5 guys anymore. It could be actually anyone in the top 20 could have an awesome event and win. You know, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, back in the late 90s, we had Kelly just dominating every contest. It was almost like,
which is cool, but not that fun to watch.
Yeah, I kind of think to myself, it was cool to see him dominate, but it was sad that there was, in that era, there were so many good surfers that were so close to getting world titles. You know, like guys like Taj and you know, that were just like one event away, and Kelly was just like stealing titles from everyone. And I mean, that's unreal, and that's competition, isn't it? But
great performance by Kelly too.
Yeah, I just love more like of a widespread where it comes to, like, you know, everyone kind of wins. Some, you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Instead of
it
just
makes
having
it more exciting to watch.
Yeah. As a competitor, like as a fan, it's so much better to watch it when it's close. So I just feel that this year, even with all the top dogs, like just to have Jack and Zhao at the top of smashing it at the top of the ratings board, like these old dogs, mate, they're going to start thinking to themselves, shit, like this shit's getting real.
Yeah, they kind of have to start thinking
that. They have to start flexing again.
Yeah. Pushing the competition, pushing like the level of surfing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a
very good thing.
It's a bit of the old you snooze, you lose situation now. You have to be on your toes all the time, especially with the cut. You know, that takes away so much from you. And it doesn't matter, you know, before it's like, all right, he had 3 bad contests, but there's still 7 left and you can still win everything, you know. It's like, no. You have to make the cut. You have got 2 more contests. That's not how it works
anymore.
You get one throwaway. You can't even really breathe. Basically, from the start of the year, you've got to be on your toes. It's no longer the only...
And it's not a soft start.
No,
it's
not at all.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of feel like it's really strange, though, because the first part of the year, you know, it's stress to make the cut, right? Everyone knows that after the first 2 contests are gone, and then the 3, like all they have now is Bells and Margaret River until they get the boot, right? So I kind of just feel that that all the, you know, it's like the WSL has kind of built up like almost 2 finals in a year when it comes to, you know what I mean, excitement around the sport and who's going to win and all the rest of the stuff. But it just feels to me that once you get on the other side of that, the guys that are kind of at the bottom they know they're going to qualify anyway. It's almost like they're just on fucking half-year holiday around the world, and they could come last in every single heat, but it wouldn't matter because they're still going to qualify next year.
Yeah, they're in a traveling circus. Yeah, so they get a nice vacation, paid vacation.
I just kind of feel like, do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like
Jaymin, these guys are professionals. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. I can look at my job. Yeah, I'm doing ventilation, air conditioning systems. I have a colleague. He's better than me. I know he's better than me. He has more skills. He looks at solutions also differently. At some point, I'm not competing with him then. Yeah, I'm still in the same league with him. You know, we have the same WSL uniform on.
Right.
But I realize I'm not gonna outwork him. Yeah, he has different hand skill to something, you know. But I'm good. I can stay in that job. I'm not losing my job, you know. But I think
different strengths.
There's 30 something guys. Somebody, you know, I'm not saying any name now, but has to look at Jack Robbo and they're like, that's not me, you know. That
I
is
see your point.
That's a different. I'm good, but I'm not that good, you know.
Yeah.
You know, where you have like the 3-4 guys, and the other guys, they must look at themselves and where it's like, all right, but I'm on a fucking tour. I'm where it's happening. Yeah.
It's such a great setup though, with the cut.
Yeah, it's exciting for us for sure. It's just like the only thing I kind of think might be strange this year about the cut is that, you know, like last year, hang on, let's see here. Like last year with the girls, you know how, with the finals, with like Steph winning and stuff, and then like this year she hasn't even won a contest, and it would just be really weird to have a world champion that didn't make the cut. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Knowing that we've
both on the men's and women's side.
Yeah, I would just kind of think to myself, that's your poster boy, you know. I kind of, or poster girl, sorry, for the women, for the ladies. And I just kind of think to myself, like, out of all the people, like the amount, the numbers on tour, you know what I mean? The fact that the world champ gets knocked off, it kind of shows you how fucking close it is on the women's side. You know what I mean? It's like,
I think it's the beauty of it as well, because like especially on the women's side now, you, like I mentioned earlier, you can definitely see a shift in generations.
Yeah.
Which it's just the way that the sport will evolve eventually, like regardless.
Yeah. No, definitely. It was like it happened with the momentum generation. I think that was the biggest shift on the male side. You remember when Kelly and all the boys come out? Remember the momentum shift? They were like the crew that could do aerials. And these old other guys were like, oh, we can't do aerials. How do we compete with these guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, when they started judging them and giving them scores for the aerials, they couldn't compete with the old boys. The old boys couldn't compete anymore. I just feel, and that was like a huge change, evolution in surfing, especially,
so cool.
You know.
Just pushing the sport like even further and further.
Yeah, and now I kind of feel like it's like the same thing's happening to the women right now.
Agree.
Because like, okay, Steph, you can see she pulls some airs. Like those girls are, you know, they're but you know, looking at Caitlin and stuff in this contest, like they're so next level. Knowing that Sierra Kerr's coming in the next year.
And Steph is not consistent on her aerials like the way that Caitlin is, for example.
She's not an aerial surfer.
No.
I think it's that thing that happened in all board sports. Yeah, it's the old league. They had to go and shuffle the snowboard parks and the jumps and everything, and you had to build it. And the next generation, the generation now, they come into pristine, super hard shaped pipe parks. The equipment is there. They've been watching all these boys doing all these tricks, and they come ready hatched.
It will always happen, though. Like, we will see this in the next 10 years as well. Like, it will always be this way.
But I know what you mean. Like, it's like the Steph generation and, of course, Kelly generation. Yeah. They created the foundation so that these guys
of that modern surfing that we're seeing now.
Yeah,
you know,
it's almost like it's almost like they put the kids through a laboratory compared to how it used to be before. Everything from your health to your fitness to your nutrition to your sleep to, you know what I mean? They cover it all.
Very easy said. When Kelly was 20 and AI and all these boys were 20 years old, there was no acai bowl. There was no meditation.
I don't know if it's the acai bowl. How do you say that? Acai?
Acai?
I don't think that's gonna like be the deal breaker if you're gonna win the CT or not.
No, but it was a different time, you know.
Yeah, they paved the path.
Boys today, when they're 20, they are in meditation. They are doing yoga. They're doing mindfulness shit, you know. 30 years ago, when they were building this up, they were doing coke.
Exactly. Know? It was called the heroin tour.
It was the heroin tour, you know.
But you know what? But they've also got we've got Kelly now as a living specimen of
the bridge.
Yeah. That is, if you look after yourself and you dedicate yourself to the point where, it's you live and breathe it. Like, it just goes to show that that's the difference between an athlete that does that. And if you look at the generations of surfers that have fallen under Kelly, you know, no offense, but the Chris Davos, the guys that are kind of gone out in this crazy ball of fire, you know, and it's like sleep when you're dead. kind of like attitudes. You can see it's, you know, it's a good reflection for kids today and for us to look and say to ourselves, well, yeah, it's awesome to take care of yourself.
Yeah, it's
you
very,
know, like,
very, very healthy.
Yeah, it's like the better we eat, the more we get outside, exercise, the more we hang out and, you know, socialize. You know, all that's awesome for our
Hell yeah.
for our well-being. And I'm just feel like we're blessed to have surfing that kind of brings us all together like that, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, yeah. But as far as the women goes, Per,
Yeah.
it was pretty crazy. Caitlin
Mate.
just dominated, Like it was, she kind of scraped through, but just to see the old guard, and even Courtney in the final let her go on that wave, and that's the one that she actually won the event on. You'd be so pissed off. Like that was like we talked about changing of the guard.
Yeah.
It was almost like it happened in that final because Courtney let Caitlin do that. She wasn't expecting her to do that, and she fucking did.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to get a score on that wave, and she did. So it's almost like, yeah, she didn't. You could see the fight because if it was flipped, Caitlin would have been fighting for that wave. Even if she had priority, she would have been trying to get it. You know what I mean?
Hell
Even
yes.
though, to Courtney's defense, she did have a really strong start with that 9-point ride wave
It was
right off the beginning.
Courtney surfed really well the whole event. I'm not taking anything away from her, but I just kind of feel like
It was a defining moment.
it just
Kinda.
feels like like a momentum shift we were talking about. That was kind of like, we know these girls are here to stay now. You know, we know Caitlin's fucking, she's the real deal. And on the men's side, we know fucking Zhao is, dude, he's a world title threat. Bang, straight up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's,
Super cool.
it's like I'm blown away. I'm almost like excited because, like I said, it's not the same guys anymore. Like it's like we all, it opens it up for all these amazing stories from these guys. Like who knows, Conor O'Leary, you know, like
Griffin.
Callan, Griff, you know, like there's Rio, for example. Like you know, for those guys, you could, any one of those guys could be in top 5 this year. You know, so it's just
For sure.
it's just cool to see that the gap is getting kind of narrow.
Got
and
a good year ahead.
yeah,
Super
exciting.
exciting.
Hey,
But yeah, dude, I gotta say, I mean, props to all the old ring busters, but the new league of girls that are surfing now is incredible.
Oh, yeah. And
Just
there's
blows
so
me away.
many, too. Like,
Yeah.
we have Gabriella Bryan, Brissa Hennessy, and Betty Lou Sakura Johnson, Macy Callahan. I mean, it's so cool.
yeah, Macy surfed really well. I think this event she had a couple of really cool moments, and it was cool to finally see.
Sophie McCullum,
Yeah,
that was cool for me to see.
Yeah, you know who was I thought it was really cool to see the, you know, the what was her name, Teresa Bonvalot. You know how she hasn't won a heat all year,
No.
and she's just been, I think, because she has been replaced Sophie McCulloch.
Yeah.
Because remember Sophie was injured, but
Yeah.
it was just good to see her like put a couple of good heats together and show, you know, and to represent Portugal. And, you know, I think she won her first. She surfed really good on her first heat. Yeah,
First heat was amazing.
She aced it. But then, sadly, she came up against Tati in the round
That
of,
was it.
round of 16. And yeah, Tati was on a bit of a heater, wasn't she? She actually looked
We all
like,
know what she's capable of doing.
yeah, but you know what? Like at the same time, as far as fantasy goes, like Tati, she's such a like, she's a head fuck because she's like, for me, she's like the Samuel Pupo. When you don't put them in, they just rip it, and when you do, they just kind of get a 0.85.
The poop all over you.
Oh, it's a double Pupo.
Yes.
Double poo poo.
That's
So anyway.
fun.
One boy and 2 poopos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tyler, huh? What? Out. What was going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm disappointed, I gotta say.
Well, I don't know. I just thought
Definitely thought she would do better in
she
those
looked
conditions.
so strong, and she looked so
Yeah.
strong in
In Sunset and and Pipe.
She looked like she was really hungry, but it kind of just felt like I honestly feel that a couple of those days, those waves were just like monumentally just heavy fucking like like skull crushers. Those sets out there, that water, the way it moved around, like it was so gnarly.
But Tyler is definitely one of the surfers you'd expect
Honestly,
to do well.
For sure.
Winning pipe first year for the women's.
Yeah. I mean, like, no doubt, she looked so solid in the last couple of events. It looked like she was really hungry. But I'm just saying to anyone, like, when Kelly comes in and says, yeah, that was fucking heavy out there.
It was gnarly out there.
Yeah, it was gnarly out there. Like, boys say, like, he doesn't say that about... He doesn't say that about Waimea when he's surfing at his fucking 50 in an Eddie cow contest. You know, that's a couple of fun ones.
Or Cloudbreak or...
Yeah, exactly. So I just meant to say that it wasn't just the size, but it was the whole... you know, the way the waves, like those conditions were super testing, and I think
how the water was moving. I mean,
and I just think that opened, but that definitely opened up the playing field for there to be more upsets, because it doesn't matter how amazingly good you are, like there's situations you get yourself into, there's currents and rips. Dude, you wipe out, you get held down. It happens to the best of them, you know, and that can completely, you break a board out there, which happened quite a few times, you know. It flips the heat. I think John broke his board.
Oh, there was so many broken boards, eh?
Yeah. So I'm kind of just saying that there's way more potential for shit to happen, you know. So which kind of is cool, because you see these like.
And that's what blows my mind with Caitlin Simmers. I mean, she's 17 years old, so she doesn't have 5 years on tour and been out in all conditions and been thrown in all these spots, you know, and she has a physique that is petite. So I'm just the techniques to duck dive out there, you know, to get back to your spot. It's like how
impressive.
How is it possible?
Yeah,
it's just so hands down.
It's
super
so
impressive.
Yeah. I just kind of think I kind of think to myself, there's like, doesn't seem to, I'm sure there's fear there, but there's a healthy fear. You know what I mean? There's not just shitting your pants like you would if you got held under by one of those waves. Like you'd feel like that was like that's like a chopu wipeout on a sand bottom.
Yeah.
You get like splattered. You know, it's feels more
heavy.
like skate in. you're hitting a concrete bowl. You know, but it's basically just a sandbank.
I reckon that does something to you if you skate big bowls and bail in balls and get your beating while you're young.
Yeah.
But you know, there's no soft falling in skateboarding.
Oh,
so,
no, definitely not.
Yeah, no. And
good experience to have though.
Yeah. I was just surprised that we didn't see more helmets.
More helmets, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good point.
Weird. Yeah, there wasn't that many.
But
I guess
over
it's
to,
not cool enough.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, nah. It was not reefy enough. It's only sand, you know. You cannot damage yourself on sand. Nah.
Oh no, you cannot.
But there's always a reason why we all meet here, and that is the competition part of our little chat, the fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is where shit gets real.
To the contrary of what we are keeping as a standard here, and just to again show you how we appreciate you having you visit us here with the 39th place.
Yeah.
We usually only have winners here, but okay.
Well, what can I say?
Yeah,
I guess I'm special.
Yeah, I know.
You get.
It's okay because I'm here, Per.
You get this. you get this from the last year where you ditched us, so it's okay.
All right,
but
I'll take that.
we're jumping. Then I think the president of this podcast, he ended somewhere down at 32. Kim Young Reve. That to be said,
right.
We joyfully talked about it last week that here in the studio we should also have a cut line. So if you don't make it to a certain place,
as a speaker here on the podcast, if you don't make halfway in your All-Stars team, right? You get cut, right?
You get cut.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
As the interested listener is hearing now, somebody's missing, and the reason why what he would state is he had to go to the Canary Islands. I think he just left the country in shame because
What else can you do?
Scotty freaking Helens didn't even put in a team on the men's side.
Oh my gosh, he did not.
No, I think he
I'm
joined.
disgusted, Scott.
I think what it
Are you-
actually
are
is.
you
I'm gonna be sick.
alright?
I'm gonna be sick.
Has anyone talked to him though? Is he actually all right?
I'm gonna throw him a bone here. I'm gonna say Scott is so rounded and woke that since it's the WSL month for the women's, he only picked the women's team, and he refused to take a men's team for this round
For the women.
just to support the women's
All right.
and the women's cause.
Good on you.
Awesome.
So
Good on you, Scott.
I made that
Yeah.
one up for you, Scotty. You can use that any way you want.
You
All
can
right.
inspire all of us.
Yeah,
Thank
mate.
you very much.
You can
Yeah.
inspire all those
Such a good guy.
young ladies out there.
Such a good boy.
But getting back to the real,
Whatever is really of interest is I made it to the 10th place.
Yeah, I can see
Not
that.
too bad, not too bad.
Crits.
From me, we've
to be
Very
honest,
cool.
I thought you were going to beat me, Per, and I was a little bit worried.
How would you feel if that happened?
Well, he's beat me a bunch, but I like every time it still hurts.
We're
Like
not
the first
competitive. We're not competitive at all.
You don't talk about
time.
it?
No, you know what?
No.
We're happy if each other goes good.
But we love to win over each other.
I'll never let him beat me.
Hallenkast on number 9. Yeah, which makes your competitor Tim Metley. I don't even see him on the first page, so he's not important enough to talk, and that's why he's not here today as well.
He went the double.
Oh.
He went the double John John. He went the John John.
John. No, John.
No, John John.
He went Yoko Alone.
Yeah.
On 8th place, we have the Party Wave. And then on number 7, Dingo ate his baby.
Yeah. It's just it's not a real baby, kids. Don't worry. It's fine. It's just plastic baby.
Just plastic. It's just a Barbie. Martina,
Happy
number
to hear
6.
it.
I wonder who Martina is. I don't know Martina.
I don't know.
Is
either.
that's not our Martina Jonsson?
No, I cannot imagine that.
Oh,
I think she's
Martina,
You
who
might
are
be
you?
surprised.
Martina, tell us.
out.
Show us a face.
cross-country skiing.
Send us a picture of your body.
Shut up. Shut up.
Jaymin, calm down.
It's been a long time for the boy.
It's not even 7.
It's been a long time for the boy. So
I didn't mean to say that.
you didn't mean
He's
to say
very
it
embarrassed
loud.
now.
On
You're
5th
even
place. On
blushing.
5th place, Jaymin.
I mean, your face. Not your
Or both.
Yeah, you know.
The boys here
cut
don't
this.
mind.
Yeah. Crossmere.
Can't go there.
Exmere. Who's Exmere? Crossmere. I don't know. But he's on 5th.
Is it? What's that?
Casimir. I don't know.
Could it be Crossmere?
Crossmere.
Could it be Exma?
But it's mute on the 4th.
Exmere.
Yeah, Sam.
It could be Exmere.
All right, we went on to the 3rd now.
Yeah,
We
the
talked
mule.
about-
We spoke about this. He did all right, and he didn't even have. His power surfer, I think, was someone lame. So with a
Good on
good
you,
power
mule.
surfer, yeah, he would have the good old mule.
Yeah, you would have
That's
crashed
Samuel.
the whole thing.
Yeah, he would have.
Surfalosh, number 3.
Someone lame was Ethan Ewing, by the way.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that's lame,
it's not
but
lame. Go,
it only
good
gave him
call.
53.76 points.
but it could have been. Yeah, he could have been just flexing hard
Yeah.
at number 1. But anyway,
Next time, Mule.
Sailor Tubbies, number 2. And
Who's Sailor Tubbies?
somebody from
Somebody who
Sele
lives at Sele.
sitting in a tub.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who has a
Well,
tub
you
at
know all
Sele?
these hippie communities around here.
Oh yeah, just ask me about anything about the hippie
Essential
community.
oils and crystals and stuff. You know all about that, don't you?
Yeah.
So Palo Santo, burning
Yeah.
every day.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
You just
And-
throw in like
And are we building up for the
for the number 1 spot.
yeah.
And I think it's true, but life is better with goats.
Ooh, yeah.
Well done, Life is Better with Goats. Please contact our inbox for whatever we have left of prizes and stuff. Well done in this round, but we should also give a little, before the cut line, after 3 rounds, how are we doing in the overall standings? And it is a strong outlook right now, isn't it? We've got the Kim Young Reve at number 1.
Wow.
It's the commentators'
Well
cup
done.
at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
The top 5.
It is number
Looks
3.
like it.
Number 3 is Dingo and his baby. I am number 4.
Well done.
And
Well done, guys.
we've got... Stop eating your bag. Stop eating. You're not going to make it.
Yeah.
You're winning
Yeah,
by 50
so-
points.
Yeah.
It's a close
It's
race.
not a lot.
It's a close race.
But do you see the difference between Mr. Kim Reva and Sailor-Tubbies?
Oh.
We're talking like half a point.
Not even.
Kim
Not
is
even.
Kim is living on his one sunset mishap.
I know, it's so close, but like he's just still living on like the vapors of his win. Yeah.
Dude, he made points for 3 rounds in that round.
Yeah.
Because he sucked in the first round and he sucked in this round. So he's on first place just because of round number 2 at sunset.
Wow,
I know,
that's
this goes to show
amazing.
anyone out there can win the lotto.
Good on
If you
you.
put in enough tickets, you'll eventually win something.
Something like that.
And since nobody else from our team is in the top 10, we don't mention anyone
Oh,
else
shout out
anymore.
to Butt Cakes on 8. Yeah, Butt Cakes.
Cakes is,
Loves those cakes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Keep him waxed with number 7. All right. Next thing is we're going to jump over to your home country.
Yes.
The island of Australia.
Yes. This is where I go. Do, 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 do. I can't do didgeridoo or anyway.
You can't?
Oh,
well, I can't without a didgeridoo.
you cannot do it with a digi.
So where is it?
You can make bong sounds and everything.
Oh yeah, I can probably do that. If someone, yeah. Anyway, kids out there,
To all the kids listening?
earmuffs, kids.
Show us your body.
Yes.
Yeah, Pez is being funny. All right, bells. We're ringing some bell. Who's ringing the bell?
Who's the ring? For whom the bell tolled? That is the question.
Yeah. Will it be Tyler Scissor Wright ringing it again?
I remember last year going to Bells. Bells, I think Kim Jong-reva, he came, I think first or second.
No,
In
I
that
came
one.
all the
first.
Aussies.
He picked all the Aussies.
I came first on bells last
Yeah,
year.
that's. I knew.
I
we,
remember that
I knew
very
we got.
well.
I knew we got you in here for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
You
your.
won something, didn't you?
You and Tyler.
Twice.
Snip, snip, snip.
Yes.
Callum did roll in the men's. He got into the final against Felipe Toledo. Ethan also did really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some carving to be done at Bells.
definitely. So I kind of feel, there's probably, out of all the locations, they always talk about that Bells wave is a bit of a special wave. How it's very horizontal and it doesn't break kind of top to bottom. It kind of just crumbles at the top, and you're always kind of doing these. Yeah, it's harder to kind of read the wave and the speed of the wave. So it definitely like favors those guys that have been on tour a bit longer and have competed out there quite a lot.
Yeah.
And one being for sure
Could
Kelly.
give us a good show.
Yeah, Kelly for sure. This could be this little Kelly's moment.
Could be.
Or I don't know what Make or Break's going to do when Kelly. Are they going to just? That's it. He's going to walk up the stairs at Bells and say goodbye. Well,
not,
he's got.
not if he's going to win it. Then he's going to get 10,000 fucking points and he's going to jump up to
for
the
sure.
qualification.
Yeah.
Well, there's always Margaret River.
And there's always Margaret River.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just getting everyone worried too early. Sorry, kids.
Sorry, kid.
Yeah,
Jamie was just joking.
yeah.
Just joking.
Santa is real.
Kelly is with us till Margaret River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to hang on to Kelly
Amazing.
for. We're going to hang on to.
Any quick
the old
pick out
boy.
of your head?
For
Who's going to be your
for
double?
Bells? I got a feeling I'm leaning kind of back towards. I don't know who's going to be my double yet, but I think maybe I'm leaning a little more Ethan Felipe kind of. If there was like
The old Ethan
super
Super setup.
if there was a super child that was like cross stitch with like an Ethan Ewing frame with a Philip Toledo like whip, I'd back that animal, whatever it was.
Okay. Okay. That was a clear answer.
Very clear
Appreciate
answer.
that one.
I'll say Ethan Ewing.
Okay.
All right. Sick.
Girls, ladies.
The ladies will be Molly Picklum.
Oh, interesting.
Did Isabel win last year?
Tyler.
Tyler. But Isabel was in the final with her?
I got to double check that. I think
I remember.
I got a feeling there was a few upsets last year, but I can't
anyway.
I can't definitively say. Sorry, kids, you're gonna have to do your homework on that one. You're gonna have to go back a year, research,
Yeah.
come
What
back
are you
with the
reckoning
answer.
then?
Well, for the men's side, I actually have a good feeling for Griffin.
Wow, I wish
Hopefully, he'll do
I
well.
wanted to pick Griffin.
Yeah, I'd love for it to be Griffin. I think we would have a great competition.
It'd be good to see
Great
Griff
show.
up there just ringing someone's bell.
Hmm?
You know,
Mm-hmm.
over his head.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be nice for Griffin, for sure. But I have a feeling it's going to be Brazilian
Wax job.
Brazilian wax job.
Yeah.
Really?
I think actually Iago, Joao will.
You reckon? Again?
Yeah,
All right.
Yep.
That's you know what? It's not even a big call because he could totally win.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think belts is another wave that suits him well
yeah,
because he's just a massive dude that is used to serve these chunky. And then you saw how it was in Portugal. Now,
yeah.
not everything was a tube, so there was chunky, big rollers that had to be served as well, and he serves Rio so well. I think it's a bit similar for him,
Mate,
going to belts.
I think Zhao in any conditions is deadly. But yeah, it should be interesting to see. I mean, it's totally. Yeah, I wouldn't bet against you to say that he wouldn't win the event. But I kind of I'm always leaning. I'm a statistics guy. If I can hardly even say it, but I'm a statistics guy. So I'm leaning towards guys that have kind of won out there before. I think, I love the upset, but I kind of, if I'm going to back myself, I just kind of feel more confident going with what I do know and not what I don't know.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
but I'm doing this because, like we said, there is a change
In the guard.
in the guard, and I think there's a lot happening this year on that
Yeah.
performance plate.
Well, I called Ethan, you called Griff Colapinas, and you called Jalchenka. So they're none of those guys are like old school. That's new breed.
Yeah.
That's fresh crop cream. A bit of fresh WLSL cream of some young guy. Those three.
And honestly, I think also Molly is gonna take this Australian piece back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Molly's on fire. But
sure. I'm just thinking that Tyler might be keen to prove herself again. Like she might
she will be
really,
up there.
really hungry for that.
She will be up
that
there.
victory. Yeah.
But I think when it now comes to this, like a final scenario, if I had just in my mind surfing Tyler and Molly, I think there is that young Molly. I'm gonna win this.
Keen to prove
it's
herself.
my time now.
Yeah.
Move away, old chick.
Yeah. Well, we're all sitting there watching Portugal and the way that everything kind of turned out. And, we weren't expecting, even though we knew in our guts that, Caitlin was good enough to win or Jal was ready for a win. But to see it, how it actually happened, it's like, yeah, it's going to be hard to bet against them next event. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those guys are on a roll. And
Very
I
good
kind
point.
of, but at the same time, there's a few guys that need some fucking points. One of them, Mr. fucking Goat, Kelly, my Slater. And in the women's, Steph Gilmore. So it'll be awesome to see what they can pull out of the bag, the magic trick bag.
And when Kelly's under pressure, then shit happens for him.
Yeah.
It does, stuff appears in the ocean that it wasn't there before.
Yeah. We can't
that
lose
is
Kelly
so
we can't lose
Nah.
him in the midway cut.
We
I
can't lose
refuse.
Steph either.
Yeah, I know.
It would be just a tragedy, really.
I'm going to start crying. Stop talking about it.
Oh, okay. We'll see if there will be tears shed. You will hear all about it the next episode. When is Oz on? Do you have a date for that?
You know what? Oz kicks off on
April 4th.
April 4th.
To April 14th.
And actually, while we're just talking about events and dates, I'm not sure when the actual podcast will get
probably next
played
week
live, but there's a really good event going down at the moment in Newcastle. Kicks off today. Cool. It's I think it's like one of the local qualifying or regional
challenger
in Australia in Newcastle. So it's like the Burton Pro Open in Newcastle or something. But you know what? Always really good. It's the Burton Automotive Pro.
You can see who's coming up next.
Yeah, this is on March the 20th to the 26th. So hopefully you guys get a little chance to get some Vij on that, some Aussie Vij. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I look forward to some. Hopefully, we get some decent waves bells this year. Because remember last year it was like, everyone was going shit. It's going to be tiny, no waves, and there actually was a couple of days with some surf.
Yeah.
So let's pray to the Huey gods that he produces some magic ribbons of energy for the little coast.
Let's
down
pray.
there.
Arctic big swells.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. With those wishes, we shall leave the speakertelt. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be back in April, mid-April, after the event. Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Shizzel on the Wizzel.
The Wizzel Shizzle.
The Shizzle on the Wizzel.
The Shizzle on the Wizzel.
With Jaymin Per.
Hey.
Good?
Good.
Okay.
We're super good.
Very
We're the
good.
goodest good can be. We're 10 goods.
Okay, good kids.